Welcome to Top Celebrities Data. Today, we uncover shocking stories of actors who came face to face with death and survived. These near-fatal moments were hidden from the public for years. Their silence holds secrets, and today, we break it. Bob Odenkirk, at age 59, suffered a major heart attack while filming Better Call Saul. His heart stopped on set, but thanks to quick CPR and a defibrillator, his life was saved. It was a harrowing moment that reminded fans how fragile life can be, even for those we admire on screen. Leonardo DiCaprio was just 24 when he narrowly escaped death during a skydiving accident. Both his main and backup parachutes failed to open. At the last possible second, a reserve chute deployed, saving him from certain tragedy. He later described it as one of the most terrifying moments of his life. While filming the surfing drama Chasing Mavericks, Gerard Butler nearly drowned at age 42. He was slammed by a powerful wave and held underwater for over a minute. Crew members rushed to rescue him, and he later spent days in the hospital recovering. It was a close call that deeply shook the actor. At 72, Harrison Ford survived a terrifying plane crash after the engine of his vintage aircraft failed mid-flight. He was forced to crash land on a golf course, sustaining serious injuries. The incident was a stark reminder that even heroes of the screen are not immune to danger in the skies. During the filming of The Expendables, Jason Statham, then 46, faced a terrifying moment when the brakes on a 3-ton truck failed. The vehicle plunged into the sea, but the action star managed to swim out and survive. His quick thinking turned a fatal moment into a narrow escape. Mark Wahlberg narrowly escaped tragedy at age 30. He was originally booked on American Airlines Flight 11, the first plane that hit the Twin Towers on September 11th. A last-minute change of plans saved his life, a twist of fate that haunted him for years. Jackie Chan, known for doing his own stunts, came close to death at 38 while filming Armor of God. A miscalculated jump caused him to fall and hit his head on a rock, fracturing his skull. Emergency brain surgery saved his life, but the scar remains, both physically and emotionally. At 32, Anne Hathaway faced a terrifying moment while swimming off the coast of Oahu. Caught in a sudden riptide, she was pulled far from shore and struggled to stay afloat, until a nearby surfer spotted her distress and rescued her just in time. Christian Bale, only 30 at the time, pushed his body to the brink while preparing for The Machinist. He lost over 60 pounds, collapsing multiple times during filming. Doctors later said he risked permanent organ damage, proof of his dangerous dedication to his craft. At just 19, Chris Pratt was homeless in Hawaii, sleeping in a van and working odd jobs. During that time, he drank contaminated water and contracted a serious bacterial infection. Without quick medical care, the illness could have taken his life. While filming Castaway at age 43, Tom Hanks suffered a cut on his leg that turned dangerously infected. What seemed minor quickly worsened into a severe blood infection. He was rushed to the hospital, where doctors said waiting longer could have been fatal. While filming Rocky IV at age 39, Sylvester Stallone insisted on real punches. One blow from Dolph Lundgren landed directly on his chest, bruising his heart. His blood pressure spiked dangerously, and he was rushed to intensive care, proving how far he was willing to go for authenticity. At age 30, Joaquin Phoenix flipped his car after a sudden brake failure on a Hollywood street. He nearly lit a cigarette inside the overturned vehicle, unaware it was leaking gasoline. Director Werner Herzog happened to be nearby and pulled him out, saving him from a fiery disaster. Denzel Washington, at just 36, lost control of his car while driving on a rain-slicked freeway. His vehicle slammed into a divider and nearly flipped, missing a fatal rollover by inches. Though shaken, he walked away with minor injuries, narrowly escaping a tragedy. At age 6, Ryan Gosling jumped into a hotel pool, not knowing how to swim. Within seconds, he was underwater and struggling. His older sister rushed to his aid, pulling him out just in time. It was a terrifying early brush with danger for the future star. At 50, Will Smith dared to bungee jump from a helicopter over the Grand Canyon. Mid-air, his harness jerked violently, pulling him sideways in a split-second scare. The stunt nearly turned fatal, yet he emerged exhilarated and reflective about life's fragility. At 52, Jeremy Renner suffered a near-fatal accident when a 14,000-pound snowplow ran him over while he tried to save his nephew. He broke over 30 bones and was briefly declared clinically dead before emergency responders revived him. His survival is nothing short of miraculous. At 46, Samuel L. Jackson was nearly killed when his foot was caught in a subway door. He was dragged along the platform, inches from being pulled beneath the train. He later said the terrifying moment made him re-evaluate life's fragility. While filming Braveheart at age 39, Mel Gibson accidentally hanged himself during a rehearsal with a real noose. He also nearly died when a horse reared and fell inches from his head. Directing the epic almost cost him his life, twice. At 45, Josh Brolin was stabbed in the abdomen during a violent mugging in Costa Rica. The knife barely missed his aorta. Doctors said a few millimeters deeper, and the wound would have been fatal. His survival was a stroke of luck. While exploring the Himalayas at 32, Chris Hemsworth developed severe altitude sickness. His oxygen levels dropped dangerously low, and he began losing consciousness. A rescue helicopter airlifted him to safety, an unforgettable brush with nature's extremes. At 55, Tom Cruise mistimed a rooftop jump while filming Mission Impossible: Fallout, slamming into a wall at high speed. He fractured his ankle badly, but insisted on finishing the take before seeking treatment. His pain and resilience stunned even the crew. Keanu Reeves, at 29, crashed his motorcycle at high speed, suffering serious internal injuries. He underwent surgery to remove his ruptured spleen and nearly bled to death. The accident changed his outlook on life and deepened his quiet, resilient persona. At 57, Salma Hayek faced a terrifying moment in the air when the private plane she boarded suffered a sudden mechanical failure. The pilot was forced to divert for an emergency landing. Though unharmed, she later admitted she had feared the worst. Ryan Reynolds, only 20 at the time, had a terrifying brush with death when his main parachute failed during his 13th skydive. The reserve chute opened just seconds before impact, saving his life. He has since joked that the sky wasn't ready for him. At 61, Nicolas Cage was filming a surf scene when he was pummeled by towering waves and caught in a powerful riptide. Nearly drowning, he was pulled out just in time by safety divers. The experience, he said, made him feel how fragile even legends are. At 45, Gary Busey crashed his motorcycle without wearing a helmet. He suffered a severe skull fracture and underwent emergency brain surgery. Doctors placed him in a medically induced coma for nearly a month. His survival was uncertain, but he eventually recovered, forever changed by the near-death experience. George Clooney, 57, was riding his motorcycle in Italy when a car suddenly turned into his path. He collided at high speed and was thrown over the handlebars. For a brief moment, he thought he would die. Miraculously, he survived with serious bruises but no lasting injury. Johnny Depp, at 50, narrowly escaped death during a horse riding stunt on the Lone Ranger. The rigged saddle came loose, leaving him dangling off a full-speed galloping horse. He could have been crushed, but miraculously slid free just in time. At just 20, Clint Eastwood faced death while aboard a Navy aircraft that lost communication and oxygen. The plane crash-landed in the Pacific Ocean, forcing him to swim several miles through frigid waters to survive. That moment shaped his willpower for a lifetime. Henry Winkler, at 78, was startled awake in a Dublin hotel when fire alarms went off amid visible smoke. He and other guests were urgently evacuated into the cold night. Though unharmed, he later said it reminded him of how suddenly life can shift. At 65, Madonna collapsed from a life-threatening bacterial infection that caused multi-organ failure. She was rushed to intensive care and placed in a coma for 48 hours. The world held its breath as she fought for her life, a haunting reminder of how fragile even icons can be. Jamie Foxx, 56, collapsed suddenly on set due to a massive brain bleed that triggered a stroke. He fell into a coma lasting 20 days. Doctors fought to save his life with emergency surgery, and his survival became one of Hollywood's most miraculous turnarounds. At only 24, Emilia Clarke suffered a ruptured brain aneurysm while working out. Emergency surgery saved her life, but a second aneurysm appeared later, requiring another procedure. Quietly enduring the pain, she continued filming Game of Thrones, becoming a symbol of resilience. Kate Winslet, at 29, nearly drowned while filming the intense sinking scenes of Titanic. The icy water, heavy costume, and long underwater takes left her breathless and hypothermic. Only the crew's quick action saved her from being pulled under for good. At 26, Matthew McConaughey was surfing alone in Costa Rica when his board struck him in the head, knocking him unconscious. A nearby surfer noticed him floating face down and rushed to save him. That day at sea could have ended in tragedy, had it not been for one stranger's quick action. Kristen Stewart, just 19, was nearly electrocuted during a stunt rehearsal. Faulty wiring sparked under wet conditions, jolting her backward. Though not seriously injured, the terrifying experience was a stark reminder of the dangers even young actors face behind the scenes. Isla Fisher, 37, came terrifyingly close to drowning during a water stunt for Now You See Me. Her release chain jammed, trapping her underwater for more than 2 minutes. Crew members eventually rescued her, but the panic she experienced was very real and nearly fatal. Seth MacFarlane, 27, was supposed to board American Airlines Flight 11 on September 11, 2001, but due to a hangover and a schedule misprint, he arrived 10 minutes late. The flight became the first to hit the World Trade Center. His near miss became a sobering twist of fate. At just 24, Robert Pattinson nearly suffered a fatal accident on the Twilight set. A stunt driver misjudged his timing and swerved, missing Robert by mere inches. It was a chilling brush with danger that underscored the risks actors quietly take every day. While filming Everest at 34, Jake Gyllenhaal slipped on a treacherous icy slope and began sliding toward a ridge. A crew harness caught him just in time. The near fall brought a wave of fear to the set, and reminded everyone how unforgiving the mountains can be. At 30, Dave Franco lost control of his motorcycle during a sharp turn and was thrown from the bike. He landed safely just inches away from a utility pole. Though uninjured, the close call reminded him, and many fans, how quickly life can change on two wheels. Henry Golding, at just 20, was filming in the jungles of Borneo when a venomous pit viper struck him. Deep in the wilderness, he was rushed to safety by locals and later airlifted. The brush with death underscored nature's unforgiving power. At 60, actor Mark Shepard collapsed at home after suffering 6 massive heart attacks in one day. With a 100% artery blockage, he flatlined 4 times before doctors miraculously revived him. His survival is considered nothing short of a medical miracle. At 37, Zachary Levi faced a mental health crisis so severe he nearly ended his life. In his own words, he was just a moment away. Seeking help changed everything. And now he speaks out to break stigma and offer hope to others in despair. Danton Mello, only 24, was aboard a helicopter filming over Mount Roraima when it crashed into remote terrain. Severely injured, he bled internally for hours before a rescue team reached him. 30 hours later, he defied death where few survive. Which of these survival stories surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to support our journey into the hidden side of fame.